my life was actually 2 separate days. They're about 4 to 6 weeks apart. I don't really remember how far. When I was a senior in high school, I decided to audition for a very prestigious acting and art school in New York City called the American Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts, or AMDA. I'm a planner. I'm someone that plans everything in her life, and it's really hard for me not to plan everything. And this audition was kind of spontaneous. I found out about the school in about mid-October, and I scheduled my audition for the beginning of December. It's not very long for me to stress and plan about it, because that's what I do. I had to pick 2 monologues that were each 2 minutes long, and they had to be contrasting. I had to write 3 essays. I had to prepare 5 questions, be interviewed by 3 people, and complete an application, and have 4 headshots taken. I was completely overwhelmed. I had no idea what I was doing. I've only done community and high school theater, so I've never done this type of audition before. So it was very overwhelming and very scary. When I was driving to my audition on December 6th, I was completely freaking out. My mom was telling me I was going to be fine because she's my mom and she has to tell me that. But I was very scared. I sat in a room with about 20 to 25 other people that were auditioning for the same thing as me, which was the acting program. I walked into the room that I was auditioning in, and the man sitting in front of me, I recognized him from Mad Men, which is one of my favorite TV shows. So of course I'm fangirling on the inside and trying not to show it. And I did 2 monologues. One from my favorite play, August Osage County, which was from the perspective of a 60-year-old woman, and another from the Laramie Project, which is more of a political piece. When I was finished speaking, the man stood up and he started to applaud. And I had no idea what to do. It was so scary. I've never had someone clap for me when it's just one person. It was kind of awkward. So I just looked at him, and he said, "I've never had an 18-year-old girl perform so well as a 60-year-old woman." And I had no idea what to think. I didn't know if that was a compliment. I was afraid. So I just looked at him and I said, "Thank you." And I turned and I walked away. I did my interview, I went to the meeting, I found out how much the school cost, which completely took my breath away, $45,000 a year. So walking out of the audition, I knew, first of all, that I probably wasn't going to get in. And second of all, it was $45,000 a year. There's no way in hell my dad's going to pay for that. So I left the audition, and they told me in about 4 to 6 weeks I'd find out. I'd get a letter. So I distracted myself with high school and prom dresses and school musicals and things like that. And about 4 to 5 weeks later, I got a call at a speech and debate practice that was running until 9 o'clock that night. And my mom said she got a packet from AMDA, and she was coming straight to the high school so I could open it. I was freaking out. I squeaked a little bit and ran to the front of the school. So as I'm pulling the paper away from the top of the envelope, all of these questions are flooding my brain. What if it's a yes? What if it's no? What if it's a yes and I can't even go? I looked down and realized the envelope was open. I pulled out a huge packet, opened it, and my eyes focused on the word congratulations. I dropped it. I started freaking out and dancing like a crazy person in the parking lot. I didn't care. I was screaming and I started to cry. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that something that I had wanted for so long and somewhere I wanted to be for so long was possible. So I was running across campus to tell my boyfriend and my coach, and as I was running, I started to cry even harder. I couldn't believe it. I walked into the speech and debate room, and I looked at my coach, and I just said, "I got in." And he instantly knew what I was talking about because he was the one who helped me prepare my monologues. He didn't even know what to say. He just looked at me and smiled. I knew that when I got home, I would have to have the difficult conversation with my dad of, "I can't go, it's too expensive." And obviously I'm here, so I didn't. But that wasn't the point. It was the best day of my life because that was the day someone realized that I was talented. That was the day that I realized I was talented. That my dream was a reality and that someone else looked at me and saw an actress and it wasn't just in my head. That's why it was the best day of my life.